HTV News Source is sponsored by CN Vision Image Consulting and Chi Products. Clothing provided by Target.
Hello, welcome to this edition of HTV News Source. I'm your host, Mariana Oyanguren. Mayor Turner's Chief of Staff, Marvelette Hunter, spoke in his absence about the importance of partnerships between government and Wells Fargo and other companies to build local homes.
We need to increase the supply of affordable housing by making home loans more accessible, providing more homebuyer counseling, and expanding down payment assistance. The City of Houston is doing its part, and I'm proud of our housing department under the leadership of Director Tom McCaslin. And through our single-family housing program, we are projecting to provide assistance for over 300 affordable housing units to be built, to be constructed, and also providing down payment and closing cost assistance. So since Harvey, some of the things that we have focused on through the mayor's initiatives, his priority is to build single-family homes in the City of Houston. So our annual projection of homes that will be reconstructed is 300, with a maximum home value of $200,000. And as a part of our home development effort, we have currently 8 homes that have been constructed, 10 homes that are currently under construction, 37 homes that are in our pre-construction stage, 108 homes that are in our pipeline, and we anticipate, as I stated, 300 single-family homes being constructed, and that's at a maximum home valuation of $200,000.
In other news, trainers from the Customs and Border Protection Agency at Bush Intercontinental Airport allowed HTV News Source to follow them as they worked with a very special beagle who was trained to sniff out food and contraband. Check it out. If you've ever traveled out of the country and had to come back into the United States, you probably had to go through a rigorous inspection called customs. You might also be familiar with beagles who walk with their trainers, sniffing for food and contraband. Efrain del Toro works for the Customs and Border Protection Agency at Bush Intercontinental Airport and relies heavily on his service dog, Robin Hood.
We are looking for prohibited agriculture items.
What have you found in the past?
We found from bush meat, which is any dry meat or smoked meat coming from Africa. We found snails, live animals, seeds, live plants, pets.
Abra Parkman with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection explained the importance of having beagles.
They're actually really effective. They are a tool that we use along with our x-rays and other tools to help prevent bad pests and diseases to come into the country.
On this occasion, Robin Hood caught a suitcase with illegal meat.
This bag?
No, that's not allowed.
After a hard day's work, it's time for a little R&R. Hollywood actor Emilio Estevez came to the Houston Library to promote his latest film, The Public. He fed the homeless and talked about homelessness being an epidemic.
Mr. Griffith, I gotta talk to you. There's not enough shelter for us people on the street.
Who is us?
Emilio Estevez's new film, The Public, is about a large group of homeless library patrons fighting for survival against sub-freezing temperatures, pre-screened at the Houston Public Library Central location, to an audience of mainly homeless patrons. The film was written and directed by Emilio, who also plays the librarian.
The librarian's duty is to protect the privacy of the patrons, and so this particular librarian has reached a point in the story where he's got nothing left to lose, so he joins forces with the patrons, and they do this Occupy, which the staff and the police and the media all they turn it into something else.
what Emilio's movie does, what the public does well, is humanize homelessness in the sense that the individuals portrayed, sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're sad, sometimes they're angry, just like everybody else. And that's what Hollywood rarely gets right that this movie gets right.
It's all drunks and crazy people. There are a bunch of guys fighting in the men's room.
So what inspired Emilio to create such a film about homelessness?
It began with an article in the LA Times called Written Off. It was an essay written by Chip Ward, who is a Salt Lake City librarian. And he said, libraries have become de facto homeless shelters, and librarians have become de facto first responders and social workers. And so I began to work on it, and work on the script and research the script, and started writing the script. And so this has been a 12-year journey to get it here.
It was no coincidence that the organizers of the film chose this particular library for the pre-screening.
Showing it to librarians around the country, it's been that response, like, oh my gosh, you captured, that's my life, that's
humanity.
My world, yeah.
Stay with us, we'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to HTV News Source. Every year, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo celebrates Armed Forces Day. Take a look.
It feels great. We have been a military family for almost 15 years now, and we have made it a point to come out to the Military Appreciation Day every year when the rodeo has sponsored it as a family. Kids get an opportunity to participate in some of the education activities that are here.
And talking about rodeo, there are so many shops with glitter, boots, belts, jewelry, mattresses, trucks, and anything you can find. Clay Newkirk has been making hats for clients for decades. We had a chat with him and learned about making hats.
We're here at the Houston Livestock Show, and we're here for about 3 weeks, and so if somebody's got a hat that needs cleaned or shaped or whatever, we clean it and shape them up for them.
I mean, there is really an art to this.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Can you explain it?
It just depends on what a person wants. A lot of times, if they want to change their brim, we can do that. A lot of times they bring the hats in and it's set on the shelf for a while or something or other, so we'll clean them up and give them a shape back to them, and then they can wear them throughout the show.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to HTV News Source. What better way to learn a language than by rapping to music, using similes, and much more? You won't believe the following this new trend has in store. Check it out.
It's not potentially global. It's going to be global. For the most part, it was just about looking at things from a creative lens that most people have issues with, but fixing them through a very simple solution. Like when we do things with kids, or like even with the literacy program, simply asking them, what y'all don't like? What y'all do like? Then give it to them.
Today, basically what we're doing is we're showing the community a demonstration of what Read What a Rapper is and how impactful and how powerful it can be to help the students of not only the city but the country.
I know some of you may have forgotten a little bit about figurative language.
This is an opportunity for us to meet people where they are, meaning our young people. And so we're meeting our young people where they are, teaching them things like simile, where to find a simile in the rap lyrics, where to find the metaphor in rap lyrics, and making sure that they are being educated in a way that's innovative, and of course, making sure that we're successful in educating our youth.
And then we have an idiom. An idiom is words, phrases, or expressions that are interpreted not really logically, like it's raining cats or dogs.
Literacy is an absolute part of the criminal justice system. Unfortunately, it's not a good part. We see way too many criminal defendants in the system who can't read.
A victim to the system, like a raindrop in the ocean, is like a victim to the prison system is like a raindrop in the ocean. It doesn't really affect much. It's like you just fall right in place and you lock in and move. Your voice may never be heard. It's just basically a small thing. You know me, I got attention to my case because I was a celebrity, but I was locked up with other young men whose situation was 90 times worse than mine, but nobody ever spoke up about that situation because they It's like a raindrop hitting the ocean, man.
It's not a hard thing, but I think sometimes as adults we get so fixed in what we think we know what they want because of us growing up and not knowing they're a different generation. They process information differently, they take in information differently. So we have to deliver it to them in a different way.
Thanks for watching this edition of HTV's News Source. I'm your host, Mariana Yanguren. Until next time, have a great day, and thanks for watching HTV. Your story, your voice, your station.
HTV News Source is sponsored by Vision Image Consulting and Chi Products. Clothing provided by Target.